I still remember the way he said it. Calm. Firm. Like he'd rehearsed it 100 times in his head. If you go on that trip with him, we're done. I love you, but this is a deal breaker. And I laughed. Not because it was funny, but because I thought he was bluffing. I mean, come on. It was just a trip to Miami with my friends. Yeah, Nate was going. Yeah, we had history. But it was history, right? We were just friends now. Or so I kept telling myself. I'm Jenna. I'm 26. And this is the story of how I chose a weekend of sun, drinks, and one stupid photo over a man who only ever wanted to be enough for me. If you've ever made a choice that cost you more than you expected, or found yourself chasing attention at the cost of loyalty, then keep watching. Because what happened next? Even I didn't see it coming. It started with a group chat. 6 of us from college, me, Bri, Lex, Nate, Javi, and Cass. We were the core crew, the people who always talked about taking a beach trip but never actually did. Until this year, Cass found a killer Airbnb. Lex booked flights, and suddenly it was real 4 days in Miami. The moment I told Marcus, my boyfriend of almost 2 years, I could feel the energy shift. He didn't blow up, didn't raise his voice. He just asked, "Is Nate going?" I froze, because I'd been avoiding that part. Not because I was hiding anything, but because, okay, maybe I was hiding something. Nate and I had a thing years ago. It never got serious. We kissed a few times, flirted a lot, but it never turned into a relationship. I moved on. Or at least, I thought I had. Marcus wasn't mad. He was hurt. And that made it worse, somehow. He said he trusted me, but not the situation. Said he knew how Nate looked at me, like he still wanted something. And honestly, he wasn't wrong. We argued about it for days. I kept saying, "You either trust me or you don't." And he kept saying, "This has nothing to do with trust and everything to do with respect." Then came the line, "If you go on this trip with, Nate's a deal breaker." I thought he'd cool off. I thought he was just trying to make a point. So I went. And I didn't just go quietly. I posted about it. Stories. Reels. Us at the beach. At brunch. On a boat. And yeah, that bikini pic. The one with me and Nate laughing, arms around each other like we were in a music video. I didn't even think about what it would do to Marcus. Until he stopped replying. No text. No call. Just silence. I got back Monday night. Went straight to his apartment. He opened the door, looked me in the eyes, and said nothing. Not, "Hey." Not, "How was your trip?" Just this empty stare. Like he didn't even recognize me. I tried to joke at first. Tried to hug him. He stepped back. Then said, "I meant what I said. You made your choice." I told him nothing happened. That Nate and I were just friends. That the picture meant nothing. That he was being dramatic. He shook his head. Said, "This isn't about the picture. This is about the fact that I told you something was hurting me, and you did it anyway." I started crying. Begging. Swearing I'd cut Nate off. Swearing I'd delete the photos. But Marcus just sat down on the edge of the bed, hands folded, like he'd already cried all the tears he had. Like he'd already made peace with letting me go. That was the hardest part. Not the anger. Not even the silence. But the fact that he'd stopped fighting for me. Because I'd made it too hard to believe I was worth the fight. The days after felt unreal. Everyone on social media thought I'd had the time of my life. But I couldn't even look at the pictures without feeling sick. I stopped posting. Stopped replying. Even stopped showing up to work. Nate reached out a few times. Said he felt bad. That he didn't mean to come between me and Marcus. But I knew better. He loved the attention. Loved that I chose him publicly, unapologetically. Until the attention ran out. And so did he. 3 weeks later, I found out Marcus had moved out of our shared storage unit. Everything I left, there my books, my photos, even the hoodie I always stole from him was gone. He didn't leave a note, didn't leave a box, just disappeared. I tried calling, blocked, tried emailing, no reply. Tried showing up to his place, but the landlord said he'd already terminated his lease. It felt like I'd been erased. Not just from his life, but from his heart. And maybe I deserved that. Because it wasn't about a bikini pic. It was about ego. About needing to prove I could do whatever I wanted and still be loved. But love doesn't work like that. It's not a prize you win by pushing someone to their limit. It's something you protect. Something you choose, even when you don't feel like it. Marcus asked for one thing. Just one. And I acted like he was being crazy for needing that reassurance, when really he was just asking me to honor what we had. It's been 6 months now. I haven't seen him, haven't heard his voice. But sometimes I still scroll through our old messages, just to remember the kind of love I lost. I'm dating again, kind of. But no one feels like home. No one sees me the way he did. And maybe they never will. Because the truth is, I didn't just lose a boyfriend. I lost the man who would have built a life with me. All because I wanted to post a moment. Instead of protect a future,